So we're going
Let's go.
live. We're live on LinkedIn. Alex,
Amazing.
welcome. Welcome, Alex.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How about you, Faisal?
I'm great, thanks. Tell me, where are you? You in your car?
I am about 25 hours
Hey,
of
Dragon.
driving into my journey. I got about seven left. So that's about
Uh-huh.
35 hours or so, 32 to 35. And I am in Georgia right now on my way to Miami. I am moving to Miami I've never left my environment, and I'm doing that today.
So for us who are outside the US, how far is Georgia to Miami?
Georgia to Miami is about another 7 hours yet.
You got 7 hours more driving to do. How long have you
Yeah,
done so far?
25
25. You drove 25 hours.
so far. Yes.
Okay, I think Dragon will know that. Dragon's a fellow licensee in Serbia. I think I think that's like going driving from Serbia probably all the way to I don't even know. It's it's got to be more than Portugal.
It's
But
long. It's long.
hey, Wi-Fi. Hey, so hey, I want to. So I go live on LinkedIn to tell people what school doesn't teach you.
Hmm.
And I met you. I met Alex in Dubai at the 10x UAE event, which was awesome. But we were always already connected on Instagram, and we'd exchange a few messages. And then I just saw this guy always in his trademark blue suit, and we met in Dubai. So what I do is I just share what school doesn't teach you because for me, a lot of what I learned that moved the needle in my life was the stuff that school didn't teach me. In fact, very little of what school actually taught me and university or college, as you guys call it, actually worked for me. I studied for 5 years at college, and I probably used 10% of what I actually learned in my job.
Yeah.
And but it was everything that I learned by living in life, by moving countries, by being adventurous that actually started to move the needle in my life. And that's why I want to kind of like share with people because I think there's too many people out there who are just perhaps settling for what they think is right, what they're being told is right, and they're probably not enjoying their jobs as much as they want to be.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to place to help these out. And when I met you and I heard your story, I was like, we've got to share this. We've got to share this and put this out there. So here we are. So
Yeah.
you're like a Grant Cardone licensee at the moment, just like me. So fellow licensees.
Yeah.
Um, Here, like Dragon, who was on here before. Just spreading the world around the planet, right?
Yes, 100%. It's my favorite
And
thing to
before
do.
that, yeah, absolutely. And before that, you were like a top sales producer for
Hmm.
your company.
Yeah.
And now you're like a sales, marketing, and a scaling mentor to
Yeah.
people. So you've left your employer and you're starting up on your own. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So I just left my corporate position not too long ago. I was inspired by my intuition and my purpose in life, and that is to help over 1 billion kids with education and inspire 1 billion people to go all in on their potential and get out of the rat race. Like that's something that I love to help people do is get out of that rat race. And what better way is to learn marketing, scaling, and sales because all three of those things are needed to get massive so you can go help billions of people as well. And it's my duty, obligation, and responsibility that I get people to think bigger than they are right now. um, you know and I don't know if you want me to tell you a little bit about my story, but that helps
Yeah,
with
I mean,
context
I
into it.
mean, I mean, sure. I've heard it once before, but I love hearing it anyway. I mean, please,
Yes.
please tell me what how you're like 27 years old, right?
Almost. Yes, almost. Same thing, 26, 27. Um, so yeah, when I was 10, I had a really big dream to own the Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. I was thinking big, just like any kid was. Whether you wanted to be an astronaut, or go to Mars like Elon Musk wants to. And real quick, apologies if I break up a little bit. I'm in the middle of nowhere. But I at 19, I started spiraling into the average, even earlier than that, like I'd say 13, 14 years old. Once I got to middle school, I started falling into the average way of thinking. And honestly, a lot of people, it happens to a lot of people. You mentioned earlier, 85% of people are disengaged at work. And I always say 72% of people It's a stat, live paycheck to paycheck. So if you think about that, most people are average. So you're bound. It happens to a lot of people because most people are average, and you are the 5 people you hang around with most. So literally, it's pretty hard not to fall into that trap. You should go write a book on that, Faisal, by the way. It's called A Merry-Go-Round or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you hold me accountable. I'm writing notes, by the way, whilst you're talking to me.
Perfect. Yeah.
But yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
what I call the merry-go-round.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And at 19, I tried to commit suicide. 21, I tried to commit suicide again. At 21, I was also a full-on alcoholic. Every single day off, I would drink, and I also started getting into drugs too. So I pretty much did all that jazz, and I'm really, really grateful for it. It's the thing I'm probably the most grateful for because I wouldn't be talking to y'all today. Well, first of all, God saved my life, but and also Grant inspiring me into thinking into massive levels and going all in my potential also has saved my life, which I believe God spoke through him. But honestly, a lot of people fall into this trap, and a lot of people have been depressed. And I have found that it's my purpose now to inspire other people to go all in on their potential. Because if you aren't, you are literally destroying your authenticity. You are destroying it.
So
If
I mean,
yeah.
I just want to wind back a bit because there's bits
Mhm.
that I don't know about your story. But when you
Mhm.
say you tried to commit suicide, I'm sorry. Let me know if I can't go there.
Go,
But
no, go there. Yeah.
but what was going on in your life, just so I can relate to that?
I was not taking full responsibility, so I was playing the victim game. I was trapped. I just I literally was brainwashing myself into the things. So let me just tell you guys this: what you think is what you say. What you say is what you do, and what you do becomes your destiny. So everything that you think is extremely, extremely important to what your destiny is going to look like. Everything starts with thought. So I was telling myself in my head that if I committed suicide, the world would be better without me. My parents and my family would be better without me. I brainwashed myself into thinking, and I did this to myself. So it was all me. It was self-inflicted. I had no self-respect for myself. I completely brainwashed myself into thinking. I brainwashed myself so far that I thought my parents would be sad if I was gone, but 2 weeks later they would forget about it. Like that's the point where I was at. So if you think about where I am now, I'm really positive. I have a ton of energy now, a ton of confidence. That's where I came from, and it has all of this right now has a lot to do with that because
But
it's
what
called
happened? What happened?
what
How did that change?
I started reading books, and then I ended up picking up the book "Be Obsessed or Be Average" by Grant Cardone. And in that book, he talks about potential and figuring out your purpose. I didn't know my purpose yet at that point. I only figured that out a month ago. But in that book, he talks about how your addictive personality is actually a gift, and the whole world tells you that it's not. That addictive personality is really bad. Go take some Adderall for it. How about you go take some Ritalin? Go take some. If you have some pain, why don't you take some Hydros that 30% of people get addicted to, and then it's one of not a hydrocodone. There's that drug, I can't
Yeah,
remember what
yeah,
it's
yeah,
called,
okay.
but a lot of people get addicted to it. Why? Like, so we're told to go take all these drugs. We're told to do all these average ways of thinking, and no wonder we get stuck in this rat race. It's called the rat race because most people are in it, and I mean, you can explain that, but
Yeah, yeah.
what changed was I read that one book. It didn't completely just like flip just like that, just so everyone knows. It was a gradual like getting out of that. I wanted to make a lot of money when I was 20. I mean, my whole life, which is another reason why I didn't get anywhere because I was focused around money and not people and not solving people's problems. Now my job and my responsibility is to solve people's problems, like any problem that they're having and any block. I don't like the word problem either. So a block that they're having to get to that next level, that's what I do. I help solve that problem, and then they can get to the next level to where they have as much confidence and can fulfill a lot of their goals and their big targets that they have. So that book right there, to answer your question, it was a huge pivotal point because it talks about how you can have it all. You can have the private jet if you want, all these things. And I don't like using those examples because they don't actually matter. But but then again, like it helps you dream bigger as well, so it does matter. But the biggest thing for me is once I shifted my focus around people, that is when everything started blowing up. My fitness, my health, my wealth, which wealth means fitness as well. Literally
Right. Money
everything
and
started
health,
blowing
right?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to be materialistic and money centered, and now I'm people centered, and that's it.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what's been going on since then? Since then, it's been like you became a top performer in your company.
Hmm.
You paid 10. I mean, you're a mentor like me, so we mentor people and we love
Hmm.
it. And I love the way that mentors meet mentor. And we're like, guys out there, there's no competition. That there's like an abundance of people to help, to serve, and everybody's got their niche. Everybody's got their stories.
Yeah.
My path is my path. Your path is your path, Alex. And there's no like competition. This is collaboration. This is meeting because we're here to serve a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
Um, for me, it's like I've been so like disappointed. You know that, Alex, with everything I'd learned to prepare me for like this nirvana of get a house, get a job, get everything,
Hmm.
and it's not been like that. It's been like I've been bored at work, and having people banging on me, then hitting a a glass ceiling,
Oh yeah.
and you referred to it. I mean, I call it the merry-go-round. The merry-go-round that's got its ups and downs. You go round in a circle. You think you're moving, but you're not. You want a bit
Yep.
more exciting. You think you're like a bowler. So what you do, you go outside the merry-go-round and you're going faster and faster. But at the end of the day, you're just going around the same speed as everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's you, Alex, that told me, go write a book, go write a book. So I started writing a book. You told me to write in 1 week. It took 10 to 11 days. It's finished, but it needs polishing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm releasing it. I'm releasing it in November. I'm writing a
Yeah.
book. It's
Yeah.
going to be called The Merry-Go-Round, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm releasing it in November. And I'm just doing it.
Which is incredible. That's going to be a really good book, and a lot of people need to hear about it.
But
Like
thanks for
everyone needs
inspiring
to
me
hear it.
about that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
The audience is probably maybe not eight, maybe not 7 billion, but probably 6 billion people. 6.9 billion. Maybe not the whole 7 billion. That's
How
your
many we
audience.
got? We got billions going on across all the platforms here.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's your purpose? Would you say? You said you figured out your purpose a month ago. What is that
Yeah.
purpose? Because I'm still trying to. I think I figured mine. Then I was like, it keeps like moving and refining.
Yeah.
Tell me about yours.
Yeah, so my purpose is to help everyone blow up in their life, like every single area of life, not just one. Whether it's if maybe their main focus is originally like their relationship with their spouse, or maybe it's their confidence level. Maybe they want to boost their confidence like crazy. Whatever that is, I want to just blow that up for them. And I have the mentor Grant. I have my mentor is Grant Cardone, so he taught me all that. But basically, it's to get everyone around me winning. Everyone who comes in my circle is going to win in massive, massive ways. Like I don't want them to just win in one area of life. I want them to win in every area of life. I don't want them to have to give up like their family or their spouse. I want them to be able to get to the next level in every area of life. That is completely my purpose. It's to inspire billions of people with my story. Because my story, I have realized I used to be really scared of telling that story, and it's a really powerful story. And if I get to inspire other people to tell their story because their story is powerful too, then that's a win right there as well. There's so many ways to win in this area or in this profession, uh, and with myself, because you have to win first. That's what I teach people: is you have to win first before you can help anybody. Because if you can't help yourself and you're in a depressive state like I was, wanting to kill myself, you're probably not going to be able to help anyone. So you can go try to help everyone, but it's not going to work because you're going to be blocked. So
Okay.
it's to truly help everyone. And then my legacy goal is to help over 1 billion kids with education, because I believe the education system is broken, and I believe that there are better ways to teach them. And then another stat out there is 1 in 7 kids, I believe it is. I know 1 in 6 kids. This is a United States stat. Go hungry. So all those kids, can't afford school. And then I think it's 1 in 9 kids can't go to school, and they can't even get the basic education. So that's like a really bad start for them. And maybe that will help them later on, like because it kind of develops that grit, so it might help them
Hmm.
in that way. Like grit has helped me a lot.
Yeah.
But it could be really detrimental for them, and then they're going to fall into the system of drugs and all that stuff. So
I got you. I got you. No, I mean that's awesome. I mean, I know the US is one thing in Europe, even though the figures will be different. I mean, there is similar patterns, you know.
yeah.
You just see it, you feel it around.
Hmm.
Guys, if you have questions, by the way, just pop them in the chat. If you're on LinkedIn, pop your questions in the chat. We're going to answer any questions that you have. I've got Will here, Wi-Fi. He says, "Wow, amazing what your thought life will drive you to do, positive and negative. Loving this conversation." He asked me for a signed copy of my book. It's an ebook, but
Yeah.
why not? I'll figure out how to print it. You
Yeah.
know, I'll figure out how to print it and send you a copy.
That's awesome.
No worries. Guys on Instagram as well. We've got Instagram reading here in parallel. If there's questions, pop them in the chat. We're going to try and answer any questions you got. So Will, tell me about what's like your 3 takeaways you would have for people, and then we're going to dig into this mentoring question because you actually spent $10,000 on 10 minutes of mentoring, but we're going to get to that in a moment. But first of
Yeah.
all, I want to know what's 3 takeaways you've got for people out there
Okay.
who like
Awesome. So I
wanna.
just realized I only have my battery's like tanking right now all of a sudden.
Okay. On your
So
laptop or on your
I'm on my
Instagram?
laptop. I'm on my
Okay,
laptop.
okay. So let's go for it. Give us the 3 things
Okay.
that you would
Anyways,
say.
so take full responsibility, meaning even if you get hit in you're rear-ended by another car, you chose to leave at a certain time and you chose to be there at that time. So take full responsibility for everything in your life. If you assign responsibility to anyone or anything, you will give up control of the rest of your life. Number 2 is show up. If you choose to show up, 90% of success is showing up. Me and you are showing up right now, even though it's not very ideal right now for me to be in here. My battery's about to die. I'm in the middle of
You're
nowhere.
moving.
Still showed up. I'm moving. I'm in the middle of moving to another state, all the way across the country. And number 3 is get out of your environment, which is the biggest lesson that I've learned just on this journey here. If you stay in the same environment with the same people, the same friends, the same average people, I guarantee your life will not change the way you want it to change. Like, don't be surprised when you're hanging around with the same people and in the same exact the same exact hometown of 70,000 people like I was. Don't be surprised when absolutely nothing changes in your life. And don't be surprised when, like, nothing is working out for you and you're depressed and you're not engaged at work. Don't be surprised at all. Because taking responsibility and moving out of your environment have a direct correlation. If you take full responsibility and decide and make the decision to change today, you will find a way to do it. Commit first and figure the rest out later.
Yeah, that's great. And I think the one that resonates most is the one that getting out of your comfort zone. I moved out of the UK 20 years ago. I did exactly the same as you, same age, threw everything to the back of my car, drove for 10 hours, and arrived here. And people were saying, "Why are you going? Where are you going? You can't speak French. You don't know the language. What if you don't like it?" I'm like, if I don't like it, I'll drive right back. What have I got to lose? And I think getting out of the environment was the biggest thing that shaped me up. How many people, and everybody knows this, how many colleagues have you got that've got the same model cars? Somebody buys a Volkswagen Golf that, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a Volkswagen. I knew 2 guys at work who had the same car, the same model, and the same color.
Yeah.
They lunch together a lot of the time, and I've seen that the neighbors get this and then the neighbors get that, and it's like, well, what if you were next working or lunching with somebody else, you know? So I get that completely. One last
Yeah.
thing before your battery tanks. You spent $10,000 on 10 minutes of mentoring.
Yeah.
What happened? I gotta admire you for that because I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who's done that.
Yeah. My intuition was like really pulling me that way, and I only had 3 seconds to make that decision because it was the first person who said yes to it. Grand just offered a 10-minute one-on-one coaching for 10 grand, and I
Grant
believe
Cardone,
that
right?
money is, yeah, yep, yeah, Grant Cardone. Money is a myth and it's completely made up. So, like, that 10 minutes with Grant is worth far more than $10,000. That completely was a transitional point for my life as well. That was the first spiritual moment I've ever had in my life. And if you study successful people, a lot of them are highly spiritual, which means they're very connected to their inner intuition and their core. They're connected to themselves, which means they're also connected to God, in my opinion, personal opinion.
Okay, but just to be clear, it doesn't necessarily mean religion, right? Spiritual
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily mean religion.
no, not at all. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I take full responsibility for not making that clear.
No, no, no.
But
It's okay. You and I have spoken before, so we know that.
yeah,
But just for anybody who's listening in, great. And what did you get out of it?
his being present, 100% present. Like right now, I am literally 100% present in this conversation. Like I decided to pull out because I could have been on my phone and like driving at the same time, but I need to be 100% present for everyone that's watching right now. Otherwise, I won't be able to provide as much value as I could doing this right now. Like if I'm just driving, I wouldn't be as engaged because I'd be looking, I'd be driving 85 miles an hour and trying to figure out like, if someone's gonna hit me or I gotta pay attention. So you can't like I've just learned he was 100% present in that conversation, even though he's doing multi-billion-dollar deals. Like it's not anything he said. He was just present for that 10 minutes. He gave it that his time's worth way more than $10,000 every 10 minutes, way more, like a ridiculous amount more, like billions. His time's worth way more than money ever will be, and that's what everyone needs to get: is money's a myth, and it's completely made up. So if you keep on doing things, me and Miriam just had a conversation earlier.
He just died. So hey, we're gonna improvise here. So LinkedIn just died. I think his battery died. Yeah. So we're gonna improvise here. I'm gonna get rid of my AirPods. So let's kill the AirPods. See how good I am at my 20-year career of tech. No, no, so we've got Alex on Instagram as well. So let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do this like this. So guys, do you see Alex here? Alex, are you okay? Okay, so people on Instagram can just see. Let me see if I can switch the camera around. Okay. So it's how we'll finish up here just the last few minutes, guys. Guys, we'll do what we can. So you were talking about Mariam, right? So Mariam's like another fellow licensee who's going wild in the Middle East. She's here, by the way, and telling us let's go. And I've got Lotfi here saying let's go. We've got William, our 10x spiritualist guy. But yeah, you were saying, thanks, Erwin. Erwin's confirmed that our DIY solution is working. So just so Alex is actually moving states in the US. He's been traveling for like 15 hours, 20 hours, and you've got another 10 hours to go. You're moving to Miami because that's where you need to be. You're leaving the hometown where you grew up, where everything happened, and you're moving to Miami because that's where you need to be to make your future happen. Because you've got an ambition, a purpose to touch 6 billion lives. Yeah. And that's the best place for you to be. I gotta admire that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was just saying, can you hear me? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, perfect. So I was just saying, we tend to overthink and try to use logic for everything. Like Miriam mentioned, 1+1=2 to most people. But what if 1+1=11? You know, like why does only one way have to be right? In fact, math is completely made up. Words are just made up. 5,000 years ago, this language wasn't even a thing. We wouldn't like if I came from the past from 5,000 years ago, I wouldn't be able to understand you. So a lot of things are just made up. And like obviously, like whatever you believe. I'm not going to talk too much about spirituality and religion just because it's controversial.
case, it's a little, I hope it much for and days at 71 degrees around and hope that, Alex, that someone said they don't realize, really don't mind at all. It's good luck to me. That's usually what it's the hard truth. What we think is what we're thinking and we're saying it for you. But, that you take full what you're saying. That's why Grant says, sure.
Yeah, because I have great want them when I need them. They're like, well, ability for that. At the end now, we gotta count on, but in a lot of my journey, William asked me if I would have been something mentor. Another person come to you, would you advise to take? Listen, me, Alex is not so dissimilar. In the UK, from a tech firm, I had dreams and come bubble, and I just said we're gonna let know this and that this day best bosses ever. And I went home and I was like, I applied all their customers, got a list of all their customers all over the world now. And I moved to Switzerland was on a didn't suddenly throw my exactly like you, full of shopping. This was all junk anyway, stuff that I was taught. Drove 11 or 12 and Google Maps.
Really easy.
I'm just I'm telling you, you're gonna see I'm just gonna go where you make the move again. But I'm Dubai, right? People like, oh my god, maybe Dubai. We're just gonna go with your purpose driven.
Exactly.
I mean, the sound is the sound is muffled. So, solution here is I'm just gonna pop up anyway now. With anything you wanna stir.
What I was intuition, really deep to doing. And I'm in as when you aren't and you miss your self, which is it's all connected. For ignoring that or authentic self, your authenticity, someone can find so old to you,
pretty authentic. So learned in like falling into it's not but in purpose and you trust God. I would say trust your beliefs are. It's just a fact. What yours is a part of you. Cause you right. On LinkedIn. Gosh. Cause I practice instead of taking my time to the just doing your I was supposed to tell. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up on guys on LinkedIn. We'll just behind the scenes on Instagram. Bearing with us with the audio.